One little article separates James Gunn's The Suicide Squad from David Ayer's Suicide Squad. But oh, what a difference a word makes. Just 5 years after the trainwreck that prompted Warner Bros. to retool its DC Comics universe, James Gunn's nearly wholesale redo exists in an entirely different movie galaxy. The Suicide Squad may go down as one of the greatest and quickest do-overs in blockbusterdom. Like Gunn's two Guardians of the Galaxy movies, The Suicide Squad is a chaotic, freewheeling inversion of much of what's expected in a comic book movie. Here, heroes die, a lot of them. Most aren't really heroes either. Some aren't even human. But they've been sprung from prison for a kamikaze mission on behalf of the US government. In this motliest of crews, no one has anything like a sleek shield or a clean caped suit. Gunn came to The Suicide Squad, which opens August 5 in theaters and on HBO Max, in a brief window opened by social media scandal. Disney fired him from Marvel for some old, dug-up tweets, only to after the protests of his Guardians cast be rehired to direct Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 3. But in the interim, Warner and DC poached the writer-director, one of the few filmmakers in the genre with the nerve and talent to not exactly buck the system but to construct it, and turns superhero myth into slapstick farce. Gunn has said he was initially offered the chance to direct a Superman movie, but it's telling that he turned down the crown jewel of DC for the likes of Polka Dot Man, Ratchacher2, who communicates with rodents, and Nanoy, a cartoonish walking shark in jams. But if most mainline superhero movies ultimately exalt American ideals like justice, individualism and might, Gunn goes exactly the other way. The Suicide Squad is the anti-Superman, a madcap rejoinder to Captain America. In Gunn's hands, the America's superhero is grotesque, brutal and ridiculous. Like Gunn's previous movies, The Suicide Squad boasts wall-to-wall needle drops, the Pixies' Hey, Louis Armstrong's I Ain't Got Nobody, yet leaves out maybe the most fitting song, Childish Gambino's This Is America. Early on in The Suicide Squad we get a sense that the mission is dubious. Amanda Waller, Viola Davis, summons a bunch of prisoners for Task Force X program. Exactly who are to be our main characters, and whose heat is about to slice like a melon takes some sorting out. But in a clown car of a superhero movie the most central protagonist is Idris Elba's Bloodsport, a mercenary only coaxed into joining the team when Waller threatens prison time or worse for his teenage daughter, Storm Reed. Very good. With him are Ratchacher2, Daniela Melchior, a standout, a laconic warm-hearted millennial with a very polite pet rat named Sebastian on her shoulder. The skills of Polka Dot Man, David Dastmalchian, are initially hard to decipher, but the shy, stunted Abner proves surprisingly capable, even if, himself, sheepishly apologizes for having such a flamboyant power. There is also John Cena's Peacemaker, easily the most jingoist off bunch, a kind of Captain America knockoff. Just what each squad member feels about their home country and its role in international backwaters is prominently in play in The Suicide Squad. The gang is sent to a dictator-controlled South Americanist land in the midst of a populist uprising to keep Safia's secret, locked-away alien species housed in a concrete tower. This is the sinister unseen side to American glory, a monstrous extraterrestrial starfish picked up on a seemingly triumphant space mission. Unclear is whether the task force is there to prevent an apocalyptic threat or shred a dubious offshore US experiment. But there are others too. Nanoid, voiced with monosyllabic perfection by Sylvester Stallone, is the worth heir to Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy, and a manic reminder to how very close to cartoon Gunn's movie is. The group's more serious, highly trained field leader, Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag, is a kind of straight man to the antic gang in the same way that dramatic, ballad-singing actors start alongside Marx Brothers. Also in the mix is Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. It's her third film in that character, but the best yet in capturing Quinn's chippermania. A brief romantic interest tells her he adores her for symbolizing anti-American fervor. Within minutes, he's lying dead on the floor. Does The Suicide Squad overdo it? Of course. It's a little absurd to even ask that about a movie with the talking shark that rips bodies in half and intercity debates about, for instance, whether the phrase tidy-whities is racist. Gunn throws so much into his superhero collider that he sometimes sacrifices depth. Backstories are poignant but thin, for wit and idiosyncrasy. But as over-the-top and thoroughly R-rated as the Suicide Squad is, it's not realistic. That's maybe a questionable argument to make for a film that includes an inside-the-body close-up of a dagger-piercing eye-beating heart. But as much as Gunn steers his movies into chaos, they have a surprising amount of heart and thoughtfulness to them. Within the Suicide Squad is not only a negotiation with American power and its depiction in comic book movies, but a heartfelt if extreme gallery of damaged souls. It's a kind of genuinely tender freak show. The upside of selecting DC characters from a Z-list is that Gunn has free rein in molding and shaping them as he likes. And, as in Guardians, his heroes all derive their strange powers from emotional trauma. They are outcasts, weirdos, laughingstocks, and whatever you call nanoi. That makes the Suicide Squad, as ridiculous as it is to say about a movie that renders a bloody rampage with gushes of animated daisies and birdies, kind of beautiful. Suicide Squad, a Warner Bros. Release is rated R by the Motion Picture Association of America for strong violence and gore, language throughout, some sexual references, drug use and brief graphic nudity. Running time, 132 minutes. 3 stars out of 4.